Hi, my name is Patricia O'Grady, and this is my video for the EdTPA. So the first thing I want to talk about is my thought process and why I decided to take my planning to meet Ravi's needs. So my student is Ravi. He is in 2nd grade. He was diagnosed with ASD. He's high functioning. He's in an ASD Nest classroom, which is a classroom that involves 5 high-functioning autistic students, and the rest of the students are Gen Ed. There are 2 teachers in the room, so it's very beneficial to on Ravi and the other students' behalf, because there are some students in there who have IEPs who are not autistic, but they're under speech and language. If you're under something different on your IEP, you cannot be in the ASD Nest program. I am actually a 4th grade ASD Nest teacher. I love the program, so this was pretty easy for me when thinking about how I can take Ravi and take the lesson plan and fit it to his needs. So the first thing I did was, I'll introduce my lesson. So my lesson was about, I kind of changed it up a little bit, just because I felt like it was a little bit too low for 2nd grade, the way that it was structured. So what it is the students were looking at planets, and they were researching the different kind of planets, and whatever planet they chose is the one that they found most interesting is the one they would research. So how I set up the groups is I differentiated based upon their planets and what they chose. I felt that this would be beneficial for the students because they can bounce ideas off each other. And they're not in a different group where someone might be writing about Mars and then they're confused about how they would make their planet and maybe copy somebody else's. So it was a nice way to let the students come together and share their ideas. So something about Ravi is because he is ASD socially, he doesn't understand social cues. He'll be listening, but you'll think he's tuned out. He's very unfocused. So what I have here is I made a motivator for Ravi during this lesson. So how the lesson would go is I would model for the students how to make their planets. So they're creating their own planets on like a mobile. So they would think about the color, they would think about the size, they would think about details of the planet. So maybe if someone's doing a planet that has a ring around it, you would talk about how you make the ring. If your planet's a small planet, like how would your planet size be compared to the like Pluto's planet size? Like, would they be different? Would they be the same? Like, why? So it's really like deeper thinking about their research and what they found about the planet. So Ravi is in a group that has 2 other students, and let me see. Ravi's goal was that he would stay focused and that he would check in with the teacher because his fine motor skills are not so good. And this is a fine motor skill activity. They're using their fingers, they're using their hands, and this is something that might be difficult for Ravi. So he needs to, he has a motivator, and the motivator allows him to do all the things that he needs to do to meet his needs. So since he's unfocused, he has the motivator. Since he socially doesn't understand social cues, he has to check in with a classmate on the motivator. And the last thing is, because he needs help with his fine motor skills, his last part is to check in with the teacher. So let me show you what his motivator looks like, because this is something that I actually use in my classroom, and it's really cool. I think a lot of students can benefit from it. Sorry for this like bootleg, but I have to do it on my computer since it is summer and I'm not at school. So this is what the motivator looks like. So you could see that the blue spots are actually meant to be the Velcro that would move, so that we're going to pretend this is Velcro. You would move it every time you did a certain step. So like step 1, whatever step 1 is, he has to like think about like, did I, and he has to ask himself, check in with the classmate. Did I check in with the teacher? And that's the way he can move Superman. And then eventually, however many steps there are, Ravi will move Superman those many steps to get to Kryptonite, where Superman originated from. So he has to land Superman back to where he came from. So like that's his goal, like personally, like he's into Superman, that's his interest, that's something that would motivate him to want to move Superman across the board. The other is he can't move if he didn't check in with a friend. He can't move if he didn't check in with the teacher. Ravi will complete this, and he can either ask a question to a classmate or he can make a statement, but he needs to at least acknowledge like he's there, because he listens and he absorbs things and he learns, but he's not always contributing to the group. So I would really say that I think that this lesson would go really well for Ravi, because I was basing it off of one of my students that actually does have something like this where we worked on this year and it worked for them. So this was really fun to do. I love the ASD Nest program, and I would recommend it for anyone who is interested in autism. Thank you.